is to blame. That doesn't make the Alliance our allies. We must be careful when dealing with them. First, observe them from a distance, and only then take action.
In my opinion, all this secrecy misses a point. When Hopper crashed, I lost the ability to escape this planet. So people of the Alliance are my last hope for help. What was that?
I've set up a warning signal. Now you're near enough that they can see the rover.
The base is in front of me.
Already? Yes, sir, I'm not kidding. If you don't stop, I'll do it for you.
For me? I wonder how... But have it your way, sir.
Remotely, Yasna. Remotely. I understand the urgency, but we must maintain at least some semblance of reason.
Some object is flying over their base.
Can you tell me more?
It's 15, 20 meters high. It has an upright silhouette, and it looks like a balloon.
It could be a balloon.
And that doesn't surprise you?
Not everything that flies needs jet engines. What markings does it have?
RB1. What does it mean?
It's an ID number. Denotes an advanced scout balloon. How far from you is it?
Around 400.
Not as far as I would like it to be. Might have you within camera range.
It's a field base. Multi-module. For about several dozen people. Rather well equipped. There's lots of transporters here.
I'm not surprised. Missions with a large crew, transport modules were an integral part of the field camp.
Remind me, how many crew members were they supposed to send on the Invincible?
Over 100.
Great. They have a second antimat. As if the first one wasn't enough.
Is it active?
Probably not, but Proton alone knows.
What about people? Can you see anyone?
Not yet. Maybe they're hiding in modules.
Most of them for sure, but I'd be surprised if they didn't assign anyone to guard duty.
I see someone.
Just one?
For now, yes.
Is that all?
I think so.
And please keep going. You can assume that their equipment has already detected your presence. Or it will soon enough. There's no point in further postponing the inevitable.
Still, I'm glad that I stopped. I feel better knowing that there's no heavily armed military waiting for me there.
Me too, Doctor. Me too.
Too bad I don't have a white flag.
We'll most likely lose contact soon. So let me be clear. It won't be easy to gain their trust. Things can go wrong, even if you can prove that you came to them of your own free will. If there's an escalation, remember one thing. I'll do everything in my power to negotiate your safe return to the Commonwealth. Worst case scenario, we'll opt for a prisoner exchange. Until then, please cooperate with them. And during the interrogation, don't resist. Astrobiologists generally do not possess information that's sensitive to the Commonwealth. At worst, you'll give away the details of our last mission. Of course, it'd be better if that didn't happen. But I know their methods of interrogation, and in all fairness...
Hang on, sir. What exchange? I'm not a spy, I'm a scientist.
I'm afraid that doesn't change anything. You want information about Regis 3. For that reason alone, they might consider you a spy.
But what kind of spy exposes themselves to direct questions?
A desperate one, Doctor.
If that's all, sir, shouldn't we cut the line?
No. Better to continue our communication for as long as possible. Prove that you voluntarily surrendered yourself. Their jammers will interrupt us sooner or later anyway.
How odd.
What?
There's no one here. Nobody.
Impossible. Even if there aren't many of them in the camp, someone would have noticed you.
I'm not blind, sir. There's really no one here. I'm going. What have I got to lose anyway?
Your life, Doctor.
I'm going in. Clear. For now. I can't hear anyone either. moving on. It's still quiet. It's eerie. Empty. Everywhere, just... I'm at the central module. In the headquarters.
You walked in, just like that.
Yeah? The doors were open.
Unbelievable. Just unbelievable.
I have a record of their mission. Each step, location, units, including dates.
I'm all ears.
Day 0, landing place. Their main ship's in sector AQ-28.
The Invincible? What? They didn't move it?
Huh, seems so.
I'll try to track it down. Please tell me what else is in there.
Like us, they became interested in the ocean. They got there on the 7th day.
Quite late.
Guess they weren't in a hurry. Before setting up this base, they were stationed not far from here, but seemed very determined to reach this area. They dug a vast system of tunnels.
When did they finally get here?
On the 15th day of the mission. They conducted research and during excavations found, you won't guess, metal structures.
So we had no chance to outrun them.
Yeah. And they were already at an advanced stage of works when we were still in orbit. In the end, they sent a convoy to a neighboring sector.
So, that was their last move?
Well, there's no information about their return. Maybe I'll find them there.
Highly probable. Do you know what the current day of their mission is?
They left on the 25th day. That's all I know. Well, I can't back out now. I have to follow them.
Well, it's your decision. Although I admit I'm also starting to wonder what you'll find.
People, Astrogator. They must be somewhere.
I'm sending a satellite. Soon I'll have an image of the area where the ship landed. We'll see if the Invincible's still there.
I'll continue to search their base. On the 24th day, they sent a convoy north to the sector. Oh, to the sector where I found Gorski.
You suspect they went after him, having detected his signal?
Oh, surely they could detect him. They could have detected all of us. But would they really do something about it?
Well, for some reason they left their base. I'm assuming that has something to do with it.
Or if they had something to hide. That might explain their urgency. Ditching all that equipment. They've got a device for intercepting alarm signals. There isn't much of it. Single record. Poor guy. He's dead. Waited help for over a day. Critically low blood saturation. He died of hypoxia. At the time of his death, he was...
Yasna, is it necessary? This information will no longer help
Somewhere near
anyone.
the city. 18561.
754. Yes. Skorsky. I'm sorry.
You lied to me. You lied how he died.
I knew you would blame yourself.
Well, of course I do. I could have saved him. Left him that fucking tank. Why didn't you let me?
I made the right decision, Yasna. Given the circumstances and our knowledge at the time, there was a high risk your sacrifice would kill you both.
Fuck. We let him die.
No, Yasna. As I said, I made the call, not you.
It would be easier to think so, but I can't. One more thing. I realize we still need to work together. So, I'll submit my reports as usual. But that doesn't mean everything's fine.
Understood, Doctor. I appreciate your professionalism.
Several units can be controlled from here. I wonder which... Oh, damn. One's unavailable.
Probably out of reach, or they took it.
I got the feed. But I can't get it to move. It's got a weak signal. Must be too far away. A view from above. It's a flying probe. I'm betting it's the one that detected my presence.
Can you extract data from it?
Sure. Never too much data. Especially in the current situation. I just need to find a place to land it. Oh, bollocks. The excavation site is behind a force field. That's where the convoy was going.
If these are Dirac emitters, that's an impenetrable barrier. There must be a field switch in the base.
But where?
No way. That was a rather unusual maneuver. To cut off the...
Probe on the ground. Time to get into the records. First images from this area. If it's been flying long enough, it may store important information. Unfortunately, apart from my arrival, the probe didn't record much.
So it's been flying only recently?
I think so. Force field's down. I opened the passage. We can follow the convoy route now.
When you're ready, Doctor. One more minute, and our satellite will be over their ship. Oh, we're lucky. Clouds are low. Unfortunately, their ship's not here. Neither there or...
Are you still looking?
Mm-hmm. Not here either. Ah, bingo.
Yes?
Found it. They're still on the planet. Didn't fly away.
Good to know. Thank you. I'm leaving the base. Going after the convoy.
Yes?
Astrogator, I have a question.
Of course, I'm listening.
What altitude can I reach in a flying saucer?
The Alliance's saucer? Is there one?
Yes, and it seems to be in one piece.
That's great news. I can confirm that you can fly into Dragonfly. If it's not too large, has a functional propulsion system, and you haven't forgotten everything from your piloting course, and if the Alliance engineers didn't screw up the robots, it might work. There are many unknowns, but let's hope for the best.
I'm climbing it. I really hope it starts. I'm inside. Right. The engines are functional. There's a vertical thrust. Hey, that's a good sound. This could actually work. Okay. Time to take off. So far, so good. Saucers in takeoff position.
Are you able to increase altitude?
I'm checking. Shit! What's going on? The warning lights are activating and the saucer's not lifting at all.
That doesn't necessarily mean anything bad. Ascension requires maximum power. Just give the engine some time, okay? Let's check the controls.
Everything's fine here. It steers smoothly. Oh, wow. What a perspective. To see the same terrain from above. I can see the entire riverbed. It's clear now that the water used to flow here. It shaped these slopes. Hey! What are you...
What happened?
I didn't do anything. The saucer suddenly dropped and crashed into the ground. Shit! The generator cover must have cracked open.
Evacuate immediately. There's no chance it'll fly again. It's a good thing it failed this way. It could have been considerably worse.
So much for hope.
Don't worry. This is just one of their saucers. I'm sure you'll find another, fully functional.
Well, I've got to the place where they were digging. It's hard to miss. They set up a huge machine at the center. It must weigh hundreds of... no, thousands of tons. The ship that brought all of this must be...
Gigantic, yes. The Invincible surpasses any of our units, even the largest orbital stations. In my opinion, it's a bit excessive.
Gives me the chills just knowing it's not far from here.
Well, maybe you won't have to see it at all.
Interesting. They found a sizable object deep underground. Stands out from the rest. It's not a part of the structures, but rather an independent, autonomous machine.
Also metal?
Yes.
So, a robot? Or something else that finally looks familiar?
Well, it looks a lot more like a robot than the other structures. The excavator has a massive work area. They had photos of the site in the database, taken before they started digging. It's unrecognizable. Inside, there's a structure. Yes, a metal one. Similar to the ones on the surface. But these are completely hidden underground. There's also a couple of smaller cranes here. In comparison to the Colossus, they look like it's pups.
Yes, I got it. They have big machines. Bigger than ours.